Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you have all been well. Today we're going to be talking about George's Gateway Club, which was a smaller casino located in Lake Tahoe, Nevada from the years of 1949 until 1955. It would be located at 6 Highway 50, Lake Tahoe, Nevada 89449, which is today's Harrah's Lake Tahoe. Let's get right into it. All the information talked about in this video can be found on the Casino Chip and Gaming Token Collectors Club, or CCGTCC's website, when you look for George's Gateway Club information, and this was written by Steve Pasalacqua. George Canon was born in Merkel, Texas on September 14th of 1908, the oldest of 5 children, and after his parents separated, his mother and kids would move to California. At a young age, George had a watermelon patch in El Centro where he would sell them at a very low price. Later, he would join the Navy, and at the age of 19, he was doing all kinds of things. He earned the title of heavyweight boxing champion of the Pacific Fleet, which was an early boost of confidence that he would carry throughout his life. He would later marry the love of his life, Anna, just 5 days after his 21st birthday. While aboard the Navy ship, gambling was George's way of life and his escape. It was what he was good at, and it showed. The Navy saw it as a negative thing, though, and in 1934, his heavy involvement with gambling at sea would earn him a bad conduct discharge. After that, him and a buddy were stowaways on a Navy ship headed to Shanghai, China, where they hid in the boiler room, and it wasn't long after they were found, detained, and returned back to shore. In the late 30s, George and Anna were living in Vallejo, California, and it was known as a Navy town. George's good friend Norman Reinberg, aka Dopey Norman, had a club in Vallejo. Most of the clubs at this time had liquor and dancing out front, gaming in the back, and the ladies upstairs. George worked as a bouncer for his good friend Willie Musso at the Georgia Street Club. His first experience as an owner of something would be in 1939, when him and a partner took over the Vallejo Locker Club and started C&S Sportsland. It was a penny arcade in the front with lockers in the back for sailors to store their uniforms when dressed in civilian clothes, and they had gambling upstairs in the back. In 1947, George and several partners owned a bar and dance hall in Colfax, California called the Quonset Club. With the income from the dance club dropping, George decided in the winter of 1948 to dismantle the Quonset hut piece by piece, load it onto 2 flatbed trucks, and take it to Nevada. The idea behind doing this was to take it and turn it into a casino, which they did. It would be located at the south shore of Lake Tahoe on the lake side of Highway 50. With owning 50% of the rebuilt club, they called it George's Gateway. Now, Lake Tahoe at the time was mainly a summer vacation spot, not like nowadays where people go there year-round. So, George wanted the club to be open all year, which in the winter was very slow and they didn't have much business. He tried everything to promote Lake Tahoe as a year-round playground. Steve says, in my opinion, from 1949 and on into the 60s, George Canon was Mr. Lake Tahoe. George's Gateway would certainly be known as a family-owned casino, and that could be a reason that it was popular for the time that it was open, similar to Harold's Club and many other places at the time. It's said that Barbara, who was George's daughter, was the manager at the cage, and in an 18-hour period over the 4th of July in 1953, more than $1 million went through the cage in slot machine and table fills. The club had different games inside, from blackjack, craps, slot machines, and roulette. They also had a few different chips as well. Chips that read GGC, George's Gateway Club, with a B/J on the backside can be found in the rectangle mold. There is what I believe would be a roulette chip that reads Gateway across it, and then you have 2 sets of chips for the table games. One set being ordered on the rectangle mold that reads George's Gateway in a Greek-like font going from $5 up to $100, and then the hub mold versions, similar in denominations, but with a slightly different hot stamp that reads George's Gateway Club. At this time, there were many clubs nearby like the State Line Country Club, Sky Harbor, Casino de Paris, Harvey's Wagon Wheel, and others, which had all kinds of shows going on at them. One of the first shuttle vehicles for gamblers was started by George. It was a commercial truck transformed into an improvised train engine pulling a look-alike passenger car. It would go up and down Highway 50, giving gamblers a free ride to and from the casino. In 1953, there would be an agreement with Bill Harrah that George would sell the Gateway Club to make way for Harrah's Lake Tahoe, and in that agreement that George would not be involved in gaming for 1 year, which he would go on to other business ventures and do very well. After that year, although George was never licensed or granted another gaming license in the state of Nevada, but he would still help out at places like Casino de Paris and Sky Harbor. He had moved to Jackpot to make way for his first club there, which would be called George and Texas Gateway, and his last adventure in the casino space was for about 2 years at the Stockman's in Elko. George would pass away on December 13th of 1988 and is buried in the Happy Homestead Cemetery at Lake Tahoe. A very influential pioneer for casinos at not just Lake Tahoe but around Nevada and the US. Going from such small clubs and literally moving one from California into Nevada means that you are all in this, and it showed. George's Gateway will be a historical piece of Lake Tahoe and Nevada casino history forever, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I want to thank Steve Pastelacqua again for writing his article about George's Gateway Club. You are truly amazing. Thank you all for watching, and it's been Oscar, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.